Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne's Sharp World, where today I've got a very special review for you guys. Today we are taking a look at the Pena X Series Apache front flipper. Now, before I go any further with this knife, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, and as soon as I get to 1,000 subscribers, which to my surprise is not that far away, when I hit that 1,000 subs, I will be doing a pretty nice giveaway, so stay tuned for that. And it's a lot easier to stay tuned if you're subscribed. So there you go. Now, let's go over some specs on this knife. We have an overall length of 6.5 inches. We have a blade length coming in at 2.75 inches, a cutting edge at 2.625 inches, blade width at 0.625 inches, blade thickness at 0.12 inches, blade material being Bowler M390, which is designed in a very nice reverse tanto blade style with a flat grind and satin finish. We have a handle length at 3.625 inches, handle width coming in at 0.875 inches, handle thickness at 0.52 inches. Handle materials on this guy are titanium, and in this version, micarta. This is a brown micarta, but they also offer it in green micarta, marbled carbon fiber, and jig titanium as well. So you got some options there. This is right hand only tip up carry. Opening mechanisms, as we all know, is a front flipper, but they also have a very, dare I say it, attractive nail nick on this one. I don't think I've ever said that about a nail nick, but we will talk a little more about that here in a second. We have an overall weight of 2.52 ounces and a price, if you can find these guys, because they're pretty much unicorns, a total price of $274. Now, I've already mentioned a couple things that we'll be talking about in this video. We will get to those, but before we get to those, I would like to thank the place that I got this knife from, because I didn't ever think I was going to actually possess a Pena X Series front flipper of any type, regardless of what style of blade it is. So I'm extremely happy to have one of these, and I have Crane's Cutlery to thank for that. Now, they didn't do me any type of favors. All they did was have it in stock, which was enough for me to want to know more about them, because I really struggled to find one of these guys until I found Crane's Cutlery. Because I struck out at E-Knives, and we're not just talking about this front flipper. I'm talking about all the Pena X Series front flippers, from the Zulu to the Trapper to the one that just came out a little while, the Swayback, I believe it was, and this Apache style blade. I always try to get one. I've always wanted one, and I miss everywhere all the time. It's extremely frustrating, but I found this at Crane's Cutlery, so I just reached out to him and said, you guys are awesome for actually having one of these for me to get my hands on. Thank you. Tell me about you, because I was going to say something in the video. So this is Crane's Cutlery. Their website is actually pretty nice. They have a very good selection of Riot knives, and they also have a bunch of other knives. They have a pretty good relationship with Riot and Enrique Pena. So next time you guys need some, or you're trying to find anything Pena or Riot, this is a great place to go. Not just for Pena and Riot, but especially for Pena and Riot. Also sent me a nice little felt wipe with it. So there you go. That's my shout out to Crane's Cutlery for being amazing and not breaking my heart like every other major retailer in the country. But definitely check them out, guys. They are worth checking out. And while I got all the packaging here, I might as well take a look at exactly what this guy came in. And just super quick, it's a Pena X Series box. It comes with a really big wipe, which I like, to wipe your blades off and stuff. My blades are always a little smudged up from my fingers using them and whatnot, so this is a nice little thing to add in there. And then it just came in that. So that was packaging for this guy. Not too bad. Decent little presentation. So let's do some size comparisons. Let's see exactly how this guy measures up to some other knives this size. We'll start out with the Civivi Elementum, and we will also have the CJRB Rhea. So pretty close there. The Elementum is a little longer, Actually, the Rhea and Elementum are both a little longer than this guy. This is I would consider this a small knife. I wouldn't even really consider this a medium. I would consider this a small knife. But tell you what, it's a small package that really packs a lot. And we go with one more little round here of size comparisons, and this time we got some front flippers, which should give you guys a really good idea right here. This is the Civivi McKenna, as well as the Civivi Exarch. I think that right there will do a pretty good job for everyone for the handle width and thickness and overall length. Measures up really well to the McKenna in length. But so there you go. There's some size comparisons for you guys. And now let's get to this knife. Let's start out with the blade. A blade that I particularly love. I will say of all the Pena knives I've went after, this is my favorite blade shape. I just think it's super unique and just perfectly executed. It is. I'm starting to say perfectly too much. But this one here, it's done very well. It's just so unique. I love the reverse tanto. Also gives me just that little bit of kind of a sheep's footy look, but it's just so sweet the way it's designed, because it starts out as basically a Wharncliffe at the bottom here, and then it comes up with just the slightest bit of belly up towards the tip, and the tip comes off to a very nice reverse tanto tip that, you know, actually isn't super dainty. It's got, you know, decent little amount of thickness behind it, so should hold up pretty well to any type of EDC tasks. And it just really works. I really like the swedge on it. The swedge is just, it's not too much, but it gives it just a nice little accent in the front. And I'm gonna say it. I didn't think I'd ever say it, but I like this nail nick. I love where they placed it. I like how they brought the swedge all the way back and the grind all the way up to where it's almost kind of like, it almost reminds me of like the Seattle Seahawks logo. I just kind of noticed that. I was going to say an eagle, but all of a sudden Seattle Seahawks just came screaming at me. So there you go. It looks like the Seattle Seahawk, and I'm going to stand behind that, and I think that's awesome. I think that is pretty sweet, and I just realized that, which is, I think I'm finding that a little extra funny because it just came to me at a very random moment. But no, the blade on this overall is very unique, extremely useful, and just great for your EDC tasks. And the handle and ergos on this guy, better than I thought they'd be for... I say it, a rather simple design when it comes to, you know, handle shape, and, you know, it's just it's more of a traditional classic style design. So I guess I don't know what I was really expecting, but it does feel really good. I like the fact that this clip is milled. It sits very well in my hand, doesn't provide any hot spots, anything of that nature whatsoever. Actually feels really good. It's a full 4-finger grip, guys. I mean, I got it. My pinky just wraps around the bottom of it. But a nice 4-finger grip, very nice jimping, which obviously, when, as I've said time and time again, when you're making a front flipper, the jimping has to be on point. And the jimping on this guy really is in two ways, because this front jimping here doesn't really do anything for the flipping. The flipping is all done right here. So we'll talk about this jimping in a second. But this jimping right here actually even gives... it gives it a very nice, not super aggressive, but very tacky feel. I would say tacky is the best way to describe it, because it really bites your finger. Doesn't mess it up, doesn't annoy it by any means, but it just gives your finger a very nice place to land and stay. Not slipping anywhere when you're using that jimping. So do like that a lot. The only thing on this that I kind of had to get used to a little was right here on the frame lock. It just, and I'm going to consider this frame lock. I don't know if it's a liner or frame lock, but as far as I'm concerned, it's basically a frame lock, because that's all. Yeah, we'll go with frame line. What do you guys think? Is it a frame lock? Is it a liner lock? Because that's it's controversial sometimes. I'm going to call it a frame lock. But anyway, up here, where they have this kind of indent right here, I found my thumb slipping off it at first. So yeah, I kind of got used to it, and it's not that bad now, but it works just fine. Push it over, and then it goes shut. Just easy breezy, and that's Riot for you. That's the action of Riot. Riot is always good, and the action of this knife is no different. Comes right out. The jimping on there is very good. You guys caught me messing up the reach around, but it is very doable. You just I'm still breaking this guy in a little too, but it is not that hard to figure out. But the jimping at the top here, the jimping on this guy right here is fantastic. It's a good model of a good example of just about perfect jimping. The only thing that would make this knife a little better is the detent is a little strong right now, but I think that's also because this is still fairly new. I've only had it for a few days now. I've been breaking it in, so I'm probably still just breaking in that detent, but it works just fine. Pretty much right on that borderline of buttery smooth and everything else. I wouldn't call this buttery smooth just yet, but I have a feeling it's going to break in and be pretty darn nice. One of the easier to operate front flippers I've had, so that does say a lot. I have a lot of front flippers. I think I'm going to do a video on that here pretty quick of my favorite front flippers for you guys, and this is a good one. This one will be mentioned in that as well. But the micarta on the handles are also very nice. It's not polished, but it kind of feels polished, but it's not. I don't know. It has a nice look. It's not too gnarled up or anything or roughed up. It's a nice smooth feel, and it patinas pretty well. Definitely reacts to the oils on your hand, which I think that's one of the reasons most people like micarta is for the patina factor and the I think it's right behind wood when it comes to a calming material for a knife. So that's always kind of appreciated by others. But that's pretty much it, you know? All in all, overall thoughts on this guy, it lives up to the hype. I will say I think this knife lives up to the hype of why people want it so much. The only thing that really stands out for me as a negative is these things are just way too hard to come by. The price, I don't have a problem for the price. I would say $274 is, you know, that's not asking too much for what you're getting here, but you got to get it, and they're so hard to come by. I really wish somehow, some way, either a knife company or someone would work with Enrique to help him make these more readily available for the public, because you can't, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the exact number, but however many he's having made right now isn't anywhere close to enough. I know there's always a lot of other things that come into play in getting these things into production, and that's where, you know, a lot of knife makers have problems is the funding, because I know that some companies want all the money, 100% of the money up front for the run, and then you make your money back on the end of it. But it's just sometimes it's a lot. So, you know, I'm not making any speculation on why these aren't being produced in bigger quantities. I'm kind of left to guess like the rest of you guys, but I just really wish they were more available, because I mean, I don't think I'm crazy when I say these, you could make a lot more of them, and they'll probably still sell out within a day. Even if you had enough for everybody, they'd probably still sell out within a day, because everyone would jump all over them. But that's really the only bad thing about these guys, is they're just too darn hard to find. I hope someday that's not the case, because they are fantastic knives. If you like front flippers, if you like this design, if you've been going after one for a long time, I'm proof that you can get them, and that you should keep trying, because you won't be disappointed when you finally do. It's just a fantastic little piece. So that's all I got for you on this one today, guys. Like I said earlier, there's a giveaway coming when I hit that 1,000 subscribers, so do me a favor, get your friends subscribed, speak out about the channel, help me get to that 1,000 subs, and we'll start doing do a good giveaway, and there'll be more giveaways after that, but I didn't want to do my first one until I hit 1,000 subs, so help get the word out about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you enjoyed this knife. I hope everyone that is trying to get one of these guys eventually gets one, and that's all I got for you today, Until the next one, I'm out.